Coming up on Fulton Today, time is running out to appeal property tax assessments. We'll share important information. Also, Fulton's district attorney gives a breakdown on gang activity in the county to a packed house of concerned residents. And we have details of what you need to know before Georgia's hands-free law goes into effect. That and more starts right now on Fulton Today. Welcome to Fulton Today, everybody. I'm Shania Chavis-Rucker. We have developing county news to share with you.
The state will be partnering with Fulton County and MARTA to invest in bus rapid transit infrastructure along State Route 400.
Fulton County officials welcome news by Governor Nathan Deal that $100 million will be allocated out of the state's transit budget to fund bus rapid transit in Fulton County along Georgia 400.
Which will include 4 transit interchanges and will be designed and built not to preclude other potential access locations along that 16-mile stretch of congested highway.
And for the state, through its legislative process and elected leaders, to come to understand how important transportation is for not just Fulton County, but for the region and the state is really huge.
This is a huge step forward, and having the state really be involved in transit funding is historic, and to pick the project that will offer so much relief to so many commuters and partnering with GDOT on the managed lane project is also quite historic. So it's a pretty monumental day.
The Georgia 400 BRT route was a key recommendation of the Fulton County Transit Study completed in coordination with the Atlanta Regional Commission and mayors of the Fulton County cities outside of Atlanta. Earlier this month, the U.S. Department of Transportation announced the dedication of $184 million in grant funds to the construction of new express lanes on Georgia 400.
The Fulton County District Attorney reveals stunning facts to residents about the gang activity in Fulton County. Now, this news came during a public meeting in the Zone 4 community in Atlanta. FGTV's Brian Robinson has more on this story from our news center. Brian?
Shani, the district attorney's office says that gang trends are changing, and the public needs to be aware that turf wars are no longer the main focus.
We as a community, I can honestly tell you, we don't know what to do. We're afraid.
It was that kind of fear that had concerned parents and community members inside the West End Performing Arts Center for the alarming news.
These people are 15 years old who are leading the gang.
District Attorney Paul Howard and the head of the gang coordinator's office invited the community to hear about the latest in gang trends. Not only did the ages of the gang members shock the audience, but so too did information about today's gang culture.
This is not 1990s Los Angeles drive-by shootings. This is simply about getting money. So gangs are partnering together in order to collaborate to bring drugs, to bring guns, and to really do injustice to our community.
In 2017, the district attorney's office handled approximately 107 homicides. 46 went to trial and were successful in each case. 36% of those cases involved murders and gang activity. With those stats in mind, the goal for the district attorney's office in this meeting was simple.
We have to figure out why young people are joining and continue to participate in gang activities.
With the presence of so much gang activity, the district attorney's office was pleased with the turnout and the input received.
I want to be a part of something that addresses the need to combat gang violence within our community. And if that's going to be done, we have to do it.
Now that the meeting has passed, the next step is to create a community advisory board in hopes of preventing and intervening young people from entering gang life.
Now, the DA's office also says that federal grants are needed for prevention and intervention. However, other major cities are competing for these grants, so the DA's office needs as much specific information as possible from the community about gang activity. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Brian Robinson.
Thank you very much, Brian. Now to our other important story. Fulton officials remind residents about the final day to appeal those property values. That deadline is July 6th.
The appeals process gives the taxpayer a chance to appeal their values if they disagree. If you think that the values are correct, then we did a good job. If you think they're incorrect, by all means appeal.
Here is how you can appeal your assessments. You can also address all of your questions to the tax assessor's office. Another important day to remember, July 1st, is the day Georgia's hands-free law begins. Fulton police will be enforcing this new state law. Drivers will no longer be allowed to hold or support their cell phone or other mobile devices while driving. Unless drivers are making an emergency phone call, they can only use GPS, voice-to-text features, as well as make and receive phone calls hands-free. Fulton police hope motorists will abide by this new law.
A lot of people are under the impression that there is going to be some sort of grace period. The legislation does not allow for any grace period, so beginning July 1st, officers can begin writing citations to motorists they find in violation of the law. For the first violation, there is a $50 fine. The second conviction is a $100 fine, and the third and subsequent convictions is a $150 fine. Again, with the first conviction, you also receive 1 point, second conviction 2 points, and the third conviction 3 points.
The hands-free law was designed to curb distracted driving. 13 of the 15 states that have similar laws in place have seen over 15% decrease in traffic-related deaths. And get this, Fulton is also creating work opportunities for young people and veterans. WorkSource Fulton has launched its annual summer youth internship program. While out of school for the summer, these students will be placed with internal and external partners throughout the county and shadow professionals in their desired field of work.
This is a program where young people gain valuable work experience, life skills, soft skills necessary to conquer the fields that they plan to enter.
I'm looking to gain knowledge about what I want to pursue later on in life and just gain nuggets of information that will help me.
Okay, I'm looking forward to learning new things, of course making money, having these, I guess, opportunities going towards my job once I get older, yeah, and that's it.
Meanwhile, WorkSource Fulton has teamed up with Veterans Home and Business Services to encourage men and women veterans to apply for home technician positions like electricians, carpenters, and painters and plumbers. Mandatory requirements include veterans with honorable discharges, active duty, member of the National Guard, Reserve, Coast Guard, or firefighters and police officers. ROTC college students with a 3.0 GPA are also eligible. If you're interested, contact the WorkSource Fulton's Adamsville Workforce Office at 404-613-6381. And still to come on Fulton Today, residents gather to hear about the economic development and legislative issues impacting their community. We'll have that story in our district-by-district coverage next. Economic development and legislative issues top the agenda for a town hall meeting in South Fulton. Here's that story and more in this week's district-by-district coverage. District 5 Commissioner Marvin Arrington Jr. joins a panel discussion about economic development and legislative issues related to the city of South Fulton. The commissioner, along with State Representative William Bodie, South Fulton City Council, and school board members, all provided information at the meeting held at the Wolf Creek Library.
These citizens in the new city of South Fulton are very informed. Their elected leadership is very informed. They're very engaged. And the fact that Representative Bodie brought everybody together. The county will be represented by Commissioner Marvin Arrington, who represents this area. So you'll have a cross-section of the elected officials here. delving into and looking at ways to improve and ensure that economic development, in fact, does continue to take place in the new city of South Fulton.
We have economic development coming through capital investment, through transportation, mobility plans, and just great to see the presentation from our city manager, Odie Donald, on the city of South Fulton and their plans for economic development, as well as the Atlanta Aerotropolis Alliance.
The executive director of the Aerotropolis Atlanta Alliance served as the special guest speaker. South Fulton, like the other cities in the county, is making a push for more business in its community. City residents even submitted a proposal for the coveted Amazon move. And finally, in District 6, one more look back at how seniors celebrated fathers. Participants at the New Beginnings Senior Center paid special tribute to its men members for the special Father's Day program.
We need to be able to provide a good role model for the young men and for our family, for our community, so we can keep our family and community together. Because our young people really need more and more strong leadership than they have had in the past.
A father in a home is supposed to set an example. Set an example for his daughters and also for his sons especially. Because when the son branches off, they need to know how to lead and how to train their families.
Father's Day is celebrated all over the world, typically in March, April, or June. However, in the U.S., the holiday is always observed on the third Sunday in June. A number of county senior centers paid special tribute to fathers and father figures for the holiday. Now you can catch more of your commissioners at work all this week with the rebroadcast of the Board of Commissioners meeting right here on FGTV. Still to come on Fulton Today, county health officials launch a social media campaign to spread the word about HIV with the help of an R&B star. Stay with us, everybody. This week marks National HIV Testing Day, and in observance of this year's day, Fulton's Board of Health introduces a special social media campaign with a very special celebrity. Take a look.
So today is our hashtag Stop HIV ATL launch, where we really want to be able to let the entire community know, the entire Fulton County area know that we can all hashtag Stop HIV ATL.
Let us begin. There is hope. There is hope for everyone living with HIV.
It really is a media-focused campaign that really not only drives awareness about HIV in our community, but more importantly, the preventative steps that all of us can take.
So help us get the word out about what we have to prevent and treat HIV in Fulton County.
I think it's important that our young people make sure that they get tested, make sure that they have education, and make sure that they are not unknowingly or knowingly spread the HIV virus to other people.
Born and raised here, right here in not Fulton County, but DeKalb County. Decatur, Georgia is where I'm from, and hearing the statistics lets me know that we as a community have work to do.
We know we can't do it alone, but there are some things that we are uniquely situated to do because of the resources that we have and the talent that we have at the Board of Health.
We want to eradicate HIV/AIDS. Please go to hashtag Stop HIV ATL because yes, we can stop HIV in Atlanta together.
There were several special National Testing Day events all around the county. We will share more of them with you next week, right here on Fulton Today. According to medical professionals, children in the U.S. continue to be some of the largest youngsters in the nation. Well, young people get a lesson in healthy eating by taking part in a program called Cooking Matters for Teens.
We are so thrilled that the Open Hands Atlanta is here to offer Cooking Matters with Teens.
We had Atlanta Fulton Public Library Foundation give us a mini grant last year to start our herb garden. And with all the other partnerships that came about, we came into Open Atlanta offering to have a teen workshop here for cooking. So we're extremely thrilled that they're here today starting the 6-week series of cooking.
We're doing a component on nutrition and kind of incorporating gardening and cooking into that. So we're going to make an apple salad, and then we're going to plant some herbs that we're going to see how they take off in the next 6 weeks or so.
Participants were shown the proper food plate at the Adams Park Library branch. There was even a little gardening outside to talk about the proper vegetables that you should plant. And our next story is all about dreams coming true. Seniors from Fulton's Helene S. Mills facility get a chance to attend an Atlanta Dream basketball game.
This is typically the time of day that they can actually come out and enjoy, the sports event or any activities. So of course we want our seniors to come out and have a good time, and they enjoy the energy as well from the kids, and they love basketball just as much as them.
Fulton's library outreach team invited residents to get a free library card.
It's intergenerational programming. They get to mix their youth with the seniors or actively aging, and they have a ball, as you can see. The Dream Girls is my dream.
It was also a good day for the Dream players, who were victorious over the Indiana Fever. Up next on Fulton Today, Fulton County joins in on the efforts to protect our nation's endangered species and their habitats. Stay with us, everybody. Public Works plants the seed in young children on how they can help the environment. Department officials made their way to the Atlanta Botanical Garden to make visitors aware of the steps they can take to help some of Georgia's endangered species. One of the biggest ways is planting pollinator-friendly plants in their own yards. By doing so, it gives the plants a place to lay and hatch their eggs, therefore creating more pollinator plants. The trip to the Atlanta Botanical Garden was to celebrate National Pollinator Week.
It's celebrated every year in the United States because pollinators were recognized in their decline several years ago, and because of that they have designated this week to every year in June to help raise awareness on the things that we can do to help pollinators and the ways that pollinators help us. So the majority of the food that we eat is actually pollinated and produced by bees, butterflies, different species of pollinators. And so the things that we can do in our homes or around our homes and our yards will actually help them and help them pollinate foods that we then eat on our table as well.
The Department of Public Works, Public Education and Outreach staff is available to appear at similar events throughout the county. If you want to invite them, just contact them at 404-612-8006. And finally, despite being on a summer vacation, a group of students are proving they have no reason to be bored. Children young and old put down their phones and tablets to enjoy an afternoon of board games at the Cleveland branch of the Atlanta Fulton Public Library System. The youngsters played classics like Monopoly and Chinese checkers, as well as learned the basics of chess. Along with the fun aspect, playing board games helps children improve their focus and thinking. They also teach teamwork.
Maybe not even how necessarily working as a team, but also how to lose and the spirit about losing. How should you lose? Could you get angry? So it teaches a lot of different things that we try to invoke in the kids as far as character development even.
Playing board games is just one of the many ways Atlanta Fulton Public Library System is engaging students during this summer break. You can get details on other events by just logging on to afpls.org. And before we go, our reminder that FGTV wants to connect with you online. Be sure to follow FGTV on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for up-to-date Fulton County news. And you can watch a replay of this show and other FGTV programs anytime on our YouTube channel. Well, that does it for this edition of Fulton Today. I'm Shania Chavis-Rucker. Thank you so much for watching. Join us each week for news around and about Fulton County.